What's going on?
Not a thing, darling.
Go ahead and look at the camera and tell them who you is.
My name is Lillian Johnson Higgins. I was born in St. Petersburg, Florida in 1939.
I was going to say 1990. What? I was like, girl, stop playing.
1939.
1939.
I was living when I was born. I was born over there on Burlington Avenue on the north side. Then my parents, they moved over on the south side.
So hold on, Grandma, you was actually born in St. Pete?
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought you was... you moved to Maine when you was married to my mom and dad.
Oh, okay. I moved to Maine.
Oh, okay.
But my husband was in service.
Uh-huh.
And my child, I had one child born in Bangor, Maine, your mother.
My mom, okay.
But I moved on the south side, off of 22nd Street South in Ozark Court. I was raised over there, and then I was raised in the project.
What was the project?
In Jordan Park. My grandmother stayed there. See, so we all was right in the bunch.
Uh-huh.
But my dad used to have a chicken farm. The toilet was outside.
For the house or for the chicken farm? The toilet for the house or for the chicken farm?
The toilet was outside for us. I was way back in the day.
Yeah.
And we had to go out there and brush our teeth. We have a tub to take a bath. We run out of water in the tub, take it in the house and take a bath.
Okay, so hold on. I'm gonna slow it down a little bit. So we just gonna talk, Grandma. You know what I'm gonna call this?
What?
So I got one or two names.
What?
Either we gonna call it Sundays with Grandma, or we gonna call it Granny Knows Best. What you want to call it?
Sunday with Grandma.
Sundays with Grandma.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So we gonna call.
Granny don't know what's best sometimes. No, we ain't gonna say Granny know best.
So Sundays with Grandma?
Yeah, Sundays with Grandma.
Okay. So firstly, I wanted to sit down. I've been wanting to talk to you for a long time and just have some conversation with you. And I got all this video equipment, and I was like, why don't I record conversations with my grandma? Because it's so much stuff. Like, you've told me things over the years as a teenager, but I don't think we ever really were able to have a lot of conversations since I was an adult. So you were born in 1939.
1939.
So that means you were 10 in 1949.
Yes.
Now, I'm going to tell you what's crazy about that.
Okay.
My daddy was born in 1950.
Oh! So, that is telling you how old your daddy is.
Yeah.
And when he was around a lot of,
racism and everything else just now.
Yeah, everything else. He was there when we had to go to the back door to get us something to eat.
And that's funny you say that, Grandma, because that's one of the things that I wanted to ask you, because again, you always been grandmama, but we've never really talked about what was it like growing up as a black girl in 1939, 1949, 1950s. What's your earliest memory of some things like that?
My early memories of it, when I was growing up, we had a bell that go off, a horn that go off when it's going to be an airstrike or something.
Airstrike?
Yes.
That's crazy.
And we had black shades. We had to put, when the horn go off, we had to put down the black shades so the lights wouldn't show.
So hold on. You were worried about an airstrike, like from us being attacked from who?
From the enemy.
Like when we say enemy, like because the war?
The war.
Okay.
The war. Because my brother, he was in World War II? Yeah, he was in there. When they burned Pearl Harbor.
Right.
My brother was in there.
And that's the uncle I never
met. And he was in Pearl Harbor, him and my cousin. And they got my brother got shell shocked. So when he come home, We always had to watch him because he'll go and turn on the gas.
In the house?
In the house.
I'm sorry.
That's it. Then he go turn on in the gas.
So y'all just be sitting in the living room.
So we have to, you know, like we go to bed and at night we have to make sure that he is asleep, that he don't turn on the gas or nothing like that because he be having nightmares. Yeah. But
what they call PTSD.
Yeah, when I was growing up, it was, well, to me, it was kind of hard because when we go to Clearwater, like we going to Clearwater, they had a sign. What would you say? They had a sign that we couldn't go to Clearwater. They say nigger, read, and run.
So like when you were trying to come from St. Pete, if you wanted to come to Clearwater Beach,
they say nigger, read, and run.
And this was like what year? Because so for you probably in there, you was probably around 10, 11?
I was like, like 6, 7, or 8, or something like that. Because my grandma, I always went with my grandmother wherever we go. Right. And my grandma, I was with her. And then they had water fountain with black and white. We couldn't drink from the white water fountain. But it was you when you see those signs, that means don't go over there. Right. So we couldn't go over there until later on in the years. Yeah. When they start letting segregation be together and stuff.
It's crazy now. This, you know, even way back then, so you talk about like 1945. Yeah. Right? It's so crazy. By the time I was a teenager, right? So even though I didn't, you know me, I ain't experienced nothing that wild. But I remember like Kansas City. Right. We didn't like to drive through Kansas City.
Right, because you better not go through it. And Vietnam at the day, when you go to Kansas City, you have to wind your window down because you cannot have your window tinted.
So this brings me. We're gonna come back. We're gonna come back to your childhood. But this brings me to something. I remember when I was a little boy. I remember when I was younger. I used to want dreadlocks. Right. You would not let me get dreadlocks, Grandma. Why you wouldn't let me get dreadlocks?
Because I didn't like dreadlocks, and we weren't no African. To me, I was born in the States. I never been to Africa. I don't know what Africa is. Okay. So I don't consider myself, I really don't. I don't consider myself an African because I wasn't born there. I was born in the States. Right. And I just don't consider it. And dreadlocks, I didn't like them because of the things that I have seen some of the people on the movie, how they were.
But it was those movies, Grandma.
Well, you know, back in them days, you think things is like that in real life.
Right. So you didn't.
But I didn't like no dreadlocks.
So you didn't want me to have dreadlocks because
I didn't want you to have them because I didn't think it was appropriate. Yeah, because to me, I'd rather for you to decide that when you grow up. Okay. I didn't like for the parents to go give this child some dreadlocks when he might not like it.
Right. It is kind of like a permanent decision. Yeah. So I always thought that like you didn't like it because of the boys in the neighborhoods that had them and stuff like that and how they had. So it wasn't
that. No, it wasn't that. It was just that what I just said. Okay. Because I look at my grandchildren now. With the locks and all that. I mean, if you keep it up, they look nice. Right. If you don't keep it up, they don't look nice. Right.
And it's funny. So my son, Brandon want locks. Yeah. And I battled with that for a little bit. I went back and forth in my mind because I'm like, oh, people gonna judge you and all of this. But at the same time, I was like, okay, son. I had a conversation with him, and I told him, I say, you can get them. Right. But you got to understand there's a certain upkeep that come with them. Right. And you have to understand some people, black, white, different. Some people might view you differently. Right. But I did have a hard time. So it was funny to me because I'm like, dang, grandma didn't want to let me get locks. But now, like, my son wants something. And I was like,
And now like when I do say something about it, like you said, why grandma, why you can't have that? You know what I mean? But I always figure you getting because you want it.
Right, okay.
Not because the child wants it.
The parent, yeah.
The parents is getting because they want it.
Right.
Let the child get up some age and let him decide whether he want that or not.
Parents, y'all heard what my grandma said. You let the child decide when they get old enough. Don't be making permanent decisions for your children.
For your children.
Tell them, grandma.
You don't do that.
Well, tell them why.
Because you might be making the wrong decision for them.
Yeah, hear my grandma.
It's just like the only thing that we want. We want our children to graduate.
Right.
We want our children to go to college. But when you go and make that child go to college when they don't want to go to college, and they ain't getting nothing out of it, all you doing is wasting your money.
Right.
So let them decide what they want, because they the one got to live with it.
Right, you right.
Okay. God gave us one day at a time. And that one day at a time, we could be gone this, that, sleep, and here that child got to go and do what that is what he wants.
Okay.
Like playing football, or basketball. If that child want to do that, I'm 100% with you. But don't just push because that's what you want.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of parents, like, they sometimes live out their childhood dreams through their children.
That's what they do.
And you know, even for me, you know, I'm a natural performer and all of this, and I had hopes that the kids, my boys, like stuff like that. But at the same time, I want them to be what they want to be. Right. You know, like, and then I think it's one of those things where
because they got to live with it.
Right.
Mama could say, "Well, I want you to do this," and the next day, Mama gone.
Yeah.
So this child don't want to do it, but he trying to live up
to their mom, parents. Yeah, I got you.
Parents. And I mean, you know, we was kids. You have to think about when you was a child. A lot of parents don't think about when they are a child.
When I was a child, I didn't have no options. I just had to do what y'all told me to do.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
See, you live and learn.
Yeah.
I'm 86 years old. I'm going on 86 years old, but I'm still learning. It's a lot of things that I didn't know, but I'm learning about it. And I still, you never get too old to learn.
Right. Say that. Tell them again, Grandma.
You never get too old to learn.
Y'all hear my grandmama.
You can always learn from your mistakes.
Right.
And we have made a lot of mistakes, a lot of time. But then we have to own up to it. Then by the time we own up to it, it's a little too late.
Right.
So you just have to sit down, think about it. I had my children, I had 7 head of children. 7? I lost 3.
Wait a minute, I never knew about that.
I lost 3 right behind each other.
Like, were they born or did they just in utero?
No, they was born. Auntie.
Oh, you talking about, no, I thought you were saying extra kids that I didn't know about. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
I had 7 head of children.
Yeah.
And they graduated. And I was happy to see them graduate because a lot of kids don't get to graduate.
Right.
They be out there in that street, they get killed and everything. And I thank God for that. But if you want to go to school, parents, you want your child to go to school and make something out of themselves. But parents, don't push the issue. If that child want to go to school, he'll go to whatever that child wants. He's not going to be bad, but just listen to him. Sometimes we have to listen to our children. We don't listen to our kids enough. We listen to ourselves, what we want out of them. And I know it's a lot of time that I have my ex-husband, he get mad with me because I don't go along with him about grown children doing what they want to do. But they are grown, and that's their life. When you ought to be a grandmother, I am a grandmother because I love my grandchildren.
Right.
I love them, and I am a grandmother, but I'm not gonna be treating them like they kids all day life.
Right.
And that's not the way you do it. See, like my ex-husband, he want to treat you all like y'all don't know what y'all doing, but y'all, hey, that's your life.
Sometimes you gotta let the kids touch the stove.
That's your life.
So yeah, and I think that's a valuable lesson that I think everybody kind of, and I appreciate that, Grandma, because I know sometimes with my mother, I love her to death.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's like, well, I'm your mama, you know, and it's like, I understand that, but I'm a grown man.
Right.
And I think it's hard sometimes when we go from that age, from being a child to 18 to 21, and that respect level as treating me, I'm still your child, but can you treat me as an adult now? Right. Rather than just treating me as a child. And
don't ever, parents, don't ever think that your children is your friend. Your children is your child and not your friend. Because when they get where they think you are a friend, they're gonna do what they talk to you any kind of way.
Y'all heard my grandma. Yeah, grandma dropping bars on you. You can't, listen, I ain't your friend. Brandon, Chance, I ain't your friend. I'm your daddy.
I'm your daddy. I'm your mother.
Yeah. So to that point, Grandma, I think we've entered a space in the world today where a lot of parents and grandparents, you have a lot of younger grandparents now.
Yes, they're not younger grandparents.
I think grandparents are so important because you all are like the glue in the structure. Because, you know, moms and dads, we don't always know what we're doing, and we think we do, right? And the grandparents are the ones with the experience that have come through. But if the grandparents are trying to be friends with the kids, and if the grandparents,
it's not gonna work.
So, and even, you know, it's funny, like people have babies, and you know, the grandma like, give me that baby. You don't know what you're doing. Mom, I know what I'm doing with my baby. And then you get the baby, and you birth the baby. The baby start crying. The mama get mad.
And the mama get mad.
Right. So the grandparents to me have always been the wisdom and the knowledge. And again, that's another one of the reasons that I wanted to interview you and talk to you, because I think that's what we're losing. We're losing that connection, and that you all are the rubber band that connects the generations and keeps us our foundation. Right. And like you said, if the parents are trying to be friends with the children,
you can't do that.
Number one, grandmama, granddad,
and you don't sit down and drink with your child.
I mean, you can't have, if they grown. I mean, I don't drink, Grandma, but if they grown,
no, that's.
What about if they
You let your child go and have her fun. Your fun is over with. You don't sit down and drink with your kids.
What about at their wedding? You wouldn't.
Well, at their wedding is one thing different.
Okay.
But going out there to juke, no. I don't believe in that. It's just like I heard on Facebook where this mother, this 18-year-old child had just graduated. And the mother took this child to the bar.
Ooh. At 18?
18. And she also gave her drinks. They were sitting out where you be served. Now, if that man had a known or somebody came in and that child was in there drinking, he would have got in trouble on account of that mother taking that child in there to drink. You don't do that. You graduate, when they graduate, you show them a proper way to be and come up. Because once you start doing that, that's it.
Right. Now, I agree. Now, I wanted to go back a little bit to your childhood again, because this is something that we know about, but I've never heard firsthand about it.
Okay, what?
So we can go back to, you said you couldn't, coming from St. Pete to Clearwater, you couldn't go to Clearwater.
You couldn't go to Clearwater.
It said, tell me what the sign said again.
Nigga, read and run.
That's crazy.
Now that's what it says.
Hold on. I don't think y'all understand this. My grandma was like 6. 1945, they try to go from St. Pete to Clearwater. They got a sign that says, nigga, read and run.
That means you just can't cross over there. You can't go there. You
gotta go around.
Go around.
So as a child, you never went to Clearwater Beach?
No. Until we got big enough and they started having like they having like the circle.
Right.
Something entertainment over there.
Right.
That's
Circus,
when we started going over.
That's crazy. So all your earlier years, you didn't even know what Clearwater Beach was like.
And I didn't know what Clearwater Beach was until my grandson took me there with him and his boys.
That's crazy.
I'd never been there.
I did not know that.
I'd never been there. I'd never been to Clearwater Beach.
We gotta go back.
I never have. I never seen Clearwater Beach until that day you took.
That was like 2 years ago. We gotta go back, Grandma. So I need y'all to understand this. This is what I'm saying. When people talk about racism and it being so long ago, you were born in 1939.
Yeah.
And the fact that you've never been to Clearwater Beach because of the things that you've seen, the signs that you've seen, until I took you.
Until you took me.
And again, I'm your grandson.
I was grown.
Right.
And my husband, we always went to St. Pete Beach.
Right.
What is that? Across the Skyway. That beach over there.
Yeah, St. Pete? I don't know.
It's another one.
As soon as you get across the Skyway and it's right off the side?
No, the one that you go, like you go into St. Pete Beach. Fort DeSoto.
Oh, Fort DeSoto, yeah. But that's what I'm saying, Grandma. I'm your grandchild, and I didn't know that. And without people having these conversations, it makes it seem as though racism and segregation was so long ago.
It was.
But you one generation, a couple generations apart from me.
Yeah.
So that's fascinating. So
and when we was coming up, we had ration stamp.
So not food stamps.
Not food stamp.
Okay.
It was a little stamp, and we could buy each household. Each person had their own stamp. You could buy clothes with it. You could buy sugar with it. You could buy shoes with it. We had our own stamp that we could go out there and buy whatever we want. They were stamps.
And was it just for black people or was it everybody?
Well, I never knew the white people had.
Wow.
We had it though.
And it was called, what was it called again?
They just call them stamps.
Stamps, ration stamps?
Ration stamp. That's what it was.
That's crazy.
That's what it was.
Okay. Ration stamp. So 1939, 1945. So let's talk about 1950, 55. You were like what?
I was like
15, 14?
Yeah.
So by now you getting ready?
By now I'm getting ready to go to school, be in school.
Right.
We was in school and then I went to, where I went? Jordan Elementary.
What was it called?
Jordan Park.
Jordan Park, yeah, okay.
Jordan Elementary. And then I went to 16th Street School when I graduated from 6th grade going to 7th. I went to 16th Street School. Then from there, I went to Gibbs High.
Okay. I just did a documentary for Gibbs.
Really?
I didn't know Gibbs was like the first black school.
Yes, it
and
was.
Everything. And so they got a museum put in for everything in there. And so
when they rebuilt it, they put all of that in.
And they were talking about a big blue bus or something where they said the boys would. The bus was so old it couldn't make it up the hill to get to Gibbs.
Right.
And the boys would get off the bus
and push it up the hill.
I got chills, Grandma. When I heard that story, I was like, that's how bad we wanted education. That we had to do stuff
and
like
you
that.
had to do things. You had to do. Gibbs High was real nice.
Right.
And it was just the black.
Right.
And because we wasn't going. They had Gibbs High and with another school over there off of
Gibbs, Bogie, Lakewood. None of those.
You never know. It's another school.
It was a high school.
It was a high school. My sister went there. It was over where our old movies was. We had movies.
Oh, that off 31st.
No, not
that.
there.
Not that movie theater.
It's over here. It was over there off of 9th Street. 9th Street and 13th Avenue, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
We had a school over there. We had what you call it? It was not like a trolley. It was like a train.
They go to school?
That pick us up and they had wires. They had it connected to wire.
Yeah. Okay.
And we had at Web City.
Web 99 Plaza. I don't know. I heard about that. Granddaddy used to talk about that.
Web City was there.
Okay.
And we used to go to Web City. Everybody went to Web
City. Let me ask you, what would you say? Can you remember what a popular song was when you like 14, 15, 1955, 1956?
Fats Domino.
What was it called?
Fat Domino.
Fat Domino?
That's a singer. And he said, oh my God, what that song? Oh Lord have mercy, Fat Domino.
Hold on.
Go back.
I'm listening. You say it's called Fat Domino.
No, that's his name.
That's his name. The name of the artist.
Yeah, that's the name of the artist. He was.
If I can spell domino.
oh my God! What that? Oh Lord, I had it on the tip of my tongue.
Domino. Let me see if I can find it.
Find it. Fast Domino. It was it was a good song too.
You mean
That's it. Goodbye. That's it.
This was I was rocking to back then?
That's it.
Hey.
That's it. That is.
Oh, you a hot mess. Back in 1956. What year was this? Let me see.
That's it.
I got this.
And then we had a place called on 22nd Avenue. 22nd. Oh Lord have mercy. Wherever all the artists came to say.
Really?
I have seen what the man name with the curly hair? Stevie Wonder.
Stevie Wonder came?
I have seen Stevie Wonder. I have seen Ike Turner.
Ike Tina Turner came to St.
Yes, st.pete. To this Manhattan Casino.
The Manhattan. Oh, down there on 22nd? Oh, what was it? Yeah.
Manhattan Casino.
Oh,
all of them came right there. And the boys, let me see, those, it was some young boys that came there. Oh boy. They was young too. I have seen a lot of to Manhattan Casino. And I was about 16 or 17 years old. Because me and my friend used to go up there when they had the artist. And then it didn't cost what it costs now.
Yeah. You know, price is crazy now.
Yes, it didn't never cost what it costs now. And anybody could go pay that money and go see.
Manhattan Casino. Yes. I thought they were redoing that. They were trying to make it something. I want to drive down there and see what they did with it.
But let me tell you, it was really nice. They really did that because all the singers that we know now that gone used to come there.
So all the singers
used to come to Manhattan
Casino.
And my uncle Wallace had a store down on 22nd Street at Ozark Coast. And he had this store. He used to buy us. We had wooden shoes.
Wooden shoes? Wait a minute.
Yeah, we had wooden shoes. My uncle bought all of us some wooden shoes. But then back in them days, we thought it was good. Okay. Because we had our own movie, Royal Theater.
Right, the Royal Theater?
The Royal Theater. We had our own movie, we go and see. And back in them days, my mom, you don't go to the movie on Sunday unless you go to church.
You go to church first, right?
You go to church. And we had to go BYPU, we had to go 3 times a day.
On Sunday?
On Sunday to church. We have BYPO, they have Sunday school in the morning. They have church that afternoon. Then we have BYPU.
What's BYPU?
BYPU is like all the kids and the parents be there, but you go in a certain room and the kids sit down and they teach the kids and, different stuff like that about the Bible.
So y'all basically just went home to eat and come back to church.
And come back to church.
So what time would y'all finish church on Sunday?
We will finish church on Sunday around about 5 o'clock. And then if we want to go to the movies, then we go to the movies because it was close to our house.
Okay.
We go to the movie and then we come on back home.
Okay. That's crazy. Like y'all really was in church all
Yeah, we really was in the church. I was brought up in a Baptist church. But then later on in my marriage, in my later years when I got grown, then I joined the Church of Christ.
Okay.
And that's where my parents were. And I'm still in that church.
Still in that church today. Let me ask you, Grandma, what is something that you think young people today don't understand about your generation's struggles?
Young people today, they don't understand how it was back in them days. And some of them laugh at it.
Yeah.
Some young people laugh at what we had to go through.
Right.
But now that they want to bring that back.
Yes.
They want to bring it back, and some of the young people is seeing what their parents had to go through.
Right. Let me ask, when did you have your first child?
My first child? I had my first child when I was 18.
That was Uncle Harold?
That's Uncle Harold.
18? Hot self. You were out here being managed.
I had graduated.
You been grown.
No.
Hot tail.
My sister had hers. And she would go on the give side.
Is that what you met Uncle Harold?
My sister had her child, Shirley Ann, when she was 15. And they used to tell us that the child, we didn't go to no hospital. The midwife used to come and deliver the baby.
At the house?
At the house.
Ooh.
And they have a black bag when they come, but that's with all their utilities in it. But when they come in the black bag, they used to tell us that the child was in the bag. We didn't know no better.
Okay. Oh, they was acting like they was bringing the baby.
They was bringing the baby. We really didn't know where did
the babies come from. So nobody, even up
because
until
the parents didn't want to
talk about it. That's fascinating. So up until you had a baby, you really still didn't know.
I didn't know.
That's crazy. This is what I'm talking about. Like
I didn't.
So nobody. So there was no. They weren't teaching you in the school.
No.
Nothing. So up until you had the baby, you thought the midwife show up with a garbage bag.
Right.
So at 18, when you were pregnant,
I was pregnant. I went to Mercy Hospital.
Okay.
When I had him.
Okay.
We had Uncle
Harold. He was
But when my sister was coming up, and I was small.
You're right.
Then that's when we didn't know.
Okay.
And then they used to get a lot of paper and stuff. We just wondered what it was all about because parents didn't tell nobody nothing. We had to find out things our own self. With our friend tell us.
That's fascinating. So, okay, you 18. What year were you 18?
I was 18 in what? 19. Had to be 19. I was born
so let's see, 39.
39.
So 49 you were 10, 59 you were 20. So 58? 58. 1958.
Yeah. I was 18.
You was 18. Okay, so you had your first child.
I had my first child.
What was it like? Because you've seen all this segregation, the racism, the signs. Did you have a new fear now, having a child, being a mother at 18 in this world the way it was? Or how did it feel?
It felt different. my grandparents. I was mostly with my grandparents. Mm-hmm. And they told you, you have to stay home and take care of that baby. And
keep going, I'm listening.
You have to stay home and take care of that baby. And I did as they told me to do. I couldn't do the things that I was doing.
Right.
Going out with my friends and being with my friends. Mm-hmm. I had to stay home and take care of my baby.
So, were you married by then?
I got married at 18.
Okay.
They daddy, Harold Daddy, which was Harold Britt. Mm-hmm. He was in the service. And he came home to marry me. Once he came home, his parents didn't want him to marry me. They wanted him to marry the lady that just died. They wanted him to marry her.
Oh.
And the army people told him, now this is what they told him. They told him, no, we gave you this furlough to go home. I was married with his child, to go home to marry Lillian and not another woman. Mm. And we got married.
So great. Yes, so you came home and you got married. So let me ask you, you say you weren't able to play and to go hang with friends. A lot of women these days, they're struggling. Some women you see on social media, I don't know for a fact, but you see on social media, a lot of women say, oh, I feel like I was just being a mother, and I didn't get to do the things that I wanted to do. From a woman who's had 7 children and being a mother, was that ever a burden to you where you felt like you didn't get to live life, or were you proud to be a mother? Speak on that.
I was proud to be a mother.
Tell me about it.
It didn't bother me because I took care of my children. I love my children. I don't care my children for 9 months and a burden to me. No, I knew when I laid down and had those kids, I knew I had to take care of them. I took care of my kids and I also got a job. Mm-hmm. I worked, I was married, and then I came home. I have to work at night. I came home, fixed supper for my family, and went back to work.
So let me ask you a question. Hold on. You messed me up right now. So you telling me you didn't expect a man to pay for all your bills?
I want to know.
So you touched base on something. You said something, and I'm only going to bring it up because it's a hot topic these days.
Let's go bring up anything you want.
Grandma, they talk. So women, they talk about going 50-50 with a man. And they saying, if I got to go 50-50 with you, what I need you for? But they basically, it seems as though, I don't know, it seems as though like now women just want men to pay all of their bills and all of this. Was that always is that? Because I mean, they talk about in the 50s, oh, the man took care of everything, but you say you wanted to work. And
I wanted to work.
Did you have to work, or did you wanted to work?
I wanted to work. I don't say that I have to work, but I wanted my own. I didn't want him saying, well, I do this and I do that.
Right.
I was in there surviving for all of us.
Okay.
In which I did, because I retired at the age of 50.
Okay.
And I always said that I was going to retire at the age of 50. Didn't know whether I was going to do it or not. Right. But I said that's what I did. That's what I wanted.
Okay.
And sure enough, at the age of 50, I retired.
Okay.
I retired from work. I came into some money. All my kids got cars or whatever they wanted. I had a couple of that couldn't give no money to.
Right.
But I got them something.
Right.
But I came into some money when I was retired and I was 50 years old. Had a backyard pool and all of that. So I have had mine.
Right.
And I enjoy it, and I thank the Lord for it.
Well, and I think a lot of women, I think they would say, I don't know, they want their own money too, but they just want the man to pay for all their stuff.
No.
You don't think that's right?
No.
Yeah?
Because it's a two-way street.
Right.
You help each other. You combine your money together.
Your income, right.
Yeah, and you was, come, you have something.
Right.
When you combine. But if you don't combine and say, well, this is mine.
Right.
I ain't finna do nothing, let him do it. No.
Right.
Because that man, we all is one. We came at one. Mm-hmm. When we got married, we were supposed to be at one.
Right.
So we all have to put things
in
together.
The pot. Because my perspective, when I was married, but not by choice.
Right.
Not by choice, by circumstance.
Right.
I ended up just like taking care of everything.
I know.
And fortunately, I was blessed enough to keep, getting promoted and going up the ranks where I always had the money to do so. But it became a stressor for me.
Yeah.
And because I was always worried about what happened if I lost my job.
You always had to try to do this.
Right.
You didn't have no help. But if you had that help,
right,
it would have been better.
Right.
It would have been better.
My view on it, I'm like, people, it's not just, you're going to make a certain amount of money. I was like, I don't want to have to stress about paying every bill.
No.
I want to know that if something in this world that we're in, something could happen. I could get hurt on the job, or whatever the case may be.
You should have.
I want a partner who can have my back.
Right.
We're stable.
Because you never know.
Right.
You never know. So there your partner got a job. She bringing in the money. So when you can't bring in the money, that money help carry on the business.
The bills in the family. Yeah.
In the family. And feeding everybody.
Right. Now, again, you said you had 7 kids. You had your last child when?
I had my last child, Jeannie. When Auntie Jeannie died, she was 43.
Okay.
So I had my last child when I had Jeannie back. When I was, I had Uncle Angelo when I was in my 30s. Mm-hmm. And I had, Uncle Angelo.
72. You had to have Auntie Jeannie in 1972.
Yeah.
So 1972, you got 7 kids.
I got 7 kids.
And you working.
I'm working.
And you cook for the family.
I cook for the family.
And granddaddy worked.
Yeah.
How did you pull all of that off with 7 kids?
With the help of the Lord.
I
said it like that. God helped us do a lot of things.
Right.
And you have to have that faith in Him that but we did it. We even had a home. Then we went up Dunella and bought that land and had a trail up there because y'all came up there with us.
Right.
And it was that's how we made it.
Right.
With my money, when I came into some money.
Right.
And with him working.
So it's more like a partnership.
Yeah, about a partnership.
So, all right. So you done been married twice.
Yeah.
All right. I done been married once. Man.
Right.
I made some mistakes in my marriage. Come on.
Yeah, we all make mistakes.
So, but what would you say to me if I was? I ain't got nobody now. I ain't got nobody. I don't know. My heart's locked up from my own. I don't know if nobody gonna free it. But the fact that you've been married twice, and if I get married again, I want it to be successful. I want it to be forever. What would you say what advice would you have for me moving forward as I go through life and seek out another partner?
I would say, always be a man.
Always be a man?
Always be a man.
What do you mean?
You be the man in your family. Whatever need to be done or whatever, you don't let your wife go over your, but all of y'all putting together, but you don't let her. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Trying to ball shoot.
Right.
You the man of the house. That's what God always.
Right. Say it in the Bible, right?
Yeah. You be the man.
Okay.
You don't never let a woman, just cause that woman got more or whatever, y'all came together. And you are the man. And you, whatever you decide, and y'all sit down and talk about it. And if you right there with it, if you understand what she's saying, and if you like, that's the way it be.
Right.
But you got to be the man of the house.
Okay. Now, with that being said, What type of traits should I look for to find me a good wife?
A good wife?
A good wife. What you think? Like in 2025, 2026.
Well, I'm gonna say a good wife needs you ask God for it.
Okay.
You ask God for it, and God will put that woman in your life. But you got to see, and you got to know that God put her there. Because everybody that comes to you, if you don't see in their heart or the way it is, it's not for you.
Right.
So you got to see. God just asking, and he'll work. He'll put that woman in your life.
Okay. All right.
He'll put that woman in your life. But you can't let another woman mess it up for you. I'm going to tell you that.
Okay.
Because a man is different from a woman.
Right.
You see a good little woman and she got this and she Swiss. Hey.
And she what, Grandma?
That's not for you.
And she what? What she do?
And she Swiss this and she Swiss. No. No, you got to know.
Right.
Because God put her there, but you don't be knowing. And then after a while, she starts fading away.
Okay. I take it. I receive it. I receive it, Grandma.
Okay.
Now, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Do you think good wives still exist out there? I mean, these women today different. They different, Grandma.
Well, you don't look at these women today.
Okay.
Just like I say, ask God, and He'll put that woman there for you.
Okay.
But you got to know that's her.
Right.
You can't say, oh, no, she ain't.
Right.
The one that you say it ain't for you is for you. But you letting her go. But God will let you know. There's somebody for you, baby.
Right. I'm giving up, Grandma. My little heart can't take it. I can't take it no more, Grandma. They be women do me round. They do me bad, Grandma. I'm reaping what I sow.
Yeah, but you got they do you bad, but you got to know what you be doing too.
Grandma, I'm an angel.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
I thought I was your favorite.
You are. But I'm just telling you. So, you want me to be honest?
Be honest with me, Grandma.
I'm going to be honest.
What's up?
Because you let one go. You did.
Okay. Well, you're right. You're right.
You did. You let one go.
Life goes on.
Life goes on. But just like I say, you're going to meet someone.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm focusing on me right now.
So why?
I'm focusing on the man in the mirror.
Yeah, but the man in the mirror need to be settled down too.
Listen, Grandma, you know.
I know you young. But you don't want to run all your life, neither.
No, not at all. Not at all.
And you got to make sure, because that women that these days go here and there. You don't know what's clean and what ain't clean.
You heard it. Don't know. Don't know. I mean, yeah. I mean, you know the Bible say a man that finds a good wife finds a good thing.
God will give you that woman. You're going to get it.
I just be focused on me because I feel as though if you're not a successful man, you don't have all of this, all these things, they won't be bothered with you no more. Like I could, a lot of them like me, but they don't want to go through the struggle with you.
Because they don't know what they want.
Right.
They don't know what they looking for is a jitterbug. They looking for a jitterbug. They looking for somebody that sell drugs. I'ma tell you, these women today, they looking for somebody want to sell drugs on the street all that kind of crap.
They looking for the scammers. They done graduated from the drug dealers. They want the scammers who got all this money, girl. That's what they.
No, you ain't got no. They just don't. They want somebody. The scammer, you ain't no scammer. You ain't got all that money. You nice, and you will make your wife happy. But these women, some of these young women, and I'm telling you, they looking for these men that out there on the drugs, sell drugs. I don't mean own the drugs, but sell them. They think that's the biggest thing it is. The biggest thing it is, and okay, they have babies. Where the dad at? Where the dad at? They home trying to raise their children without the dad.
Without the daddies.
And they doing good.
Yeah, I don't know.
They doing good.
Yeah.
But they cannot live like that.
Right.
Because that's a big no-no with the man above.
Right. Yeah. I just feel like, so did you ever go through hard times with any one of your husbands?
No.
Yeah, I'm saying hard times is like struggling financially or anything like that. Everything was always...
Yeah, everything was this person.
Why do you think that is? That it went so well? Because we're in different times these days, but back then, considering everything that was going on.
Why do I think it went on? Because I was a person that didn't like to run the street. I was a person that listened at my husband. My husband, whatever my husband said, I tried to do it. Although it wasn't what he wanted, you know, but I try to do it as he want me to do. And I never act like, oh, I want to go get the night and all that mess. No. If your husband say, let's go out, let's go out. Sometimes I stay home while he go out. But it didn't matter. I was at home. But the day, that woman got to go. That woman got to go and her husband somewhere else. But that's the wrong thing to do. Don't ever let your wife go somewhere that you're not.
That I'm not at. Yeah. Yes. I agree.
Don't ever do that.
I agree.
Don't ever do that.
Yeah, because they be out here, you know I do the videography and I be in these clubs. I was in the club the other night.
Don't do that.
I was in the club the other night, Grandma. It was this woman, she was in like this cat suit, you know, real tight. So a friend of mine went over there to try to talk to her. She married. But she in the club just shaking her booty all over the place by herself.
Yeah. But her husband home.
Yeah.
Probably home with the kids.
Yeah.
No, he don't want to get dressed because he don't want to be out there. Well, but you letting her go out there. So when you let her go out there, you giving her opportunity to get whoever and go to bed with whoever.
Y'all heard my girl. Don't be out there shaking your behind. You get your behind home.
That's what I'm saying. That when you don't go, let your wife go nowhere.
Right.
Because when you do that, that lady is going to get somebody else while you sitting your ass home and you will end up with no wife.
I believe it. Well, Grandma, I think that's about it for the day.
So any other day. But that's what I want y'all to know. Back in them days, we had a home that go off. Have you ever heard that on TV?
What's that?
Where the home go off and everybody stop running.
Yeah. That was really going on in St. Pete.
That was going on.
There were bombs. I always thought we were far enough south that they weren't messing with us.
No, baby.
That's crazy. No. I couldn't imagine. Can you imagine just in the backyard barbecuing or something?
We had black shades. We didn't have nothing like this.
Oh my God.
We had black shades, and when you hear that, boy, you better run in there and close them shades down.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
So they won't see no light.
In the house. Because they're going to try to bomb it.
They'll start a bomb.
That's crazy. Well, Grandma, I think we done reached all the time for the day.
Okay, well, I enjoyed it.
We're going to do some more.
And, I enjoyed it.
Next time I'm going to have you put your teeth in.
What?
No. I'm joking.
I put my bottom teeth in.
But Grandma, I appreciate you for taking the time to talk to me.
Well, I appreciate you wanting me to do that.
I've enjoyed it. We definitely going to do this more often.
And I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And next time, maybe your mama could be...
We'll wait. We'll have it.
Oh, no, can you imagine?
We'll hold off on that one.
Can you imagine?
Let's get a couple more with just me and you first, okay?
All right.
I might have to give her own.
I enjoy this evening.
Yes, ma'am.
And I hope that some of the things stick with you. That you really sorted out what Grandmama had said. Because I wouldn't tell you no word of lie. I try to tell you the truth. Promise your grandmother that you'll never, if you meet your lady, when y'all at home, you will not let her get dressed and go by herself. You will always get dressed, or you'll say, well, honey, I don't think we need to go nowhere tonight.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay. I think that's going to be a hard one to swing. Some of these women, like, I need to have my free time.
Ain't no damn free time. What free time? When you get a husband, you don't have no free time.
It's our time. All the time.
All the time. Free time is when you go to bed.
Right.
And go to sleep.
Okay. That one might be a hard one for me to sleep.
Or either go to work.
Because, you know, I done had a wild one that like to do her own thing a lot of times, too.
I know it. I know that. But you be the man.
Okay.
Don't never let a woman leave you at home while she's somewhere jugging or having fun.
I got you.
Okay?
I got you.
If I might not be here, but I ask God to let me live to see my great-grandchildren get grown. I don't see y'all got grown and married. Let me live to see my great-grandson, my great-grandchildren, and my the Darius come home safe and sound.
Gotcha.
And I ask God for that. One day I told your mom, I said, I'm gonna live till I get 100. Whatever God got for me, I am gonna be here. And I thank you, Lord, for this day. Thank you.
All right. Hey, y'all. That's Sundays with Grandma. I'll see y'all next time. My grandma gonna keep it real. I don't know what to tell you.
I'll see y'all, next 3 weeks?